This is the deadliest VR headset ever made. This is Nerdist Now. Virtual reality, the digital frontier, the metaverse, something that sounds way cooler than it really is. It feels like home VR systems are becoming more and more common despite one form of it or another being in our lives for over 60 years. From humble beginnings in the 1950s with Sensorama, to giving lawnmower men superpowers in the 1990s, to whatever the hell Mark Zuckerberg's doing with legs over there in the metaverse, we've seen a plethora of virtual reality technology over the past 10 years, and not just when it comes to gaming, but also exercise, stress relief, surgical training, and a litany of other things. But are you bad enough of a gamer to enter a digital hellscape where if you die in the game, you die in real life? Well, hopefully the answer is no, but if you are, well, I've got good news for you. You can live out your twisted dream by getting in touch with Oculus founder and major weird guy Palmer Luckey. The VR magnate wrote a fairly lengthy blog post this week titled "If You Die in the Game, You Die in Real Life," a trope we've heard for decades, well before Job Smith entered the shop. But in the blog post, Luckey somewhat lays out his plan for the future of extreme VR immersion. He mostly writes about Sword Art Online, then takes a hard left turn to talk about his latest Oculus model, Nervegear, which is also named after the VR headsets in the Sword Art Online universe. It's an incredible device that perfectly recreates reality using a direct neural interface that's also capable of killing the user, which is super chill. Now, why build something like this, you might be wondering? That's an excellent question. Well, according to Luckey, he wants to create a way to fully change how people view virtual worlds. The idea of tying your real life to your virtual avatar has always fascinated me. You instantly raise the stakes to the maximum level and force people to fundamentally rethink how they interact with the virtual world and the players inside it. Pumped up graphics might make a game look more real, but only the threat of serious consequences can make a game feel real to you and every other person in the game. I don't know, seems like a bit much just to get people extra excited about buying Skyrim for a 15th time. Yeah! The idea that a stranger on the internet could just unplug you from the Matrix, that's a bit of a red flag to say the least. But I know the real reason you're watching this video. You want to know how Nervegear is capable of such a macabre feat. Does it melt the user's brain with microwaves like its Sword Art Online equivalent? Maybe it releases a dormant hive of bees from inside of it, or it digitizes you into billions and billions of micropixels where you then join the collective digiverse. Or maybe it's just a bomb you wear on your face, like Suicide Squad, but on your face. Well, that's what it is. It's a fucking bomb. The Nervegear headset is equipped with explosive charges on the front of the visor, pointed at the user's skull. It makes it look cyberpunk as hell and absolutely terrifying. Now, according to Luckey, the explosive charges in the headset are tied to a narrowband photosensor that can detect when a screen flashes red at a specific frequency. Kind of like a blue screen of death, but red and literal. It'll kill you. So that's the end result, but how does it work with VR games? Well, according to Luckey, he doesn't know. Luckey writes, "The good news is that we're halfway to making a true Nervegear." Oh, good, that's great to hear. The bad news is that so far, I've only figured out the half that kills you. The perfect VR half of the equation is still many years out. Oh man. Well, I'm not an engineer and this is all categorically crazy, but that seems like a huge design flaw for a VR headset wrapped inside an even more deadly design flaw. So good luck to whoever decides to give this a beta test and accidentally slips up during Surgery Simulator. Or, maybe instead of killing you, the explosive charges strapped to your face just give you psychokinesis and turn you into a villain of the cyberverse. It's really the only silver lining I can possibly fathom. Luckey continues, "This isn't a perfect system, of course. I have plans for an anti-tamper mechanism that, like the Nervegear, will make it impossible to remove or destroy the headset. Even so, there are a huge variety of failures that could occur and kill the user at the wrong time. This is why I've not worked up the balls to actually use it myself. Also..." Oh, that's the only reason? That's the only reason? "This is why I've not worked up the balls to actually use it myself, and also I am convinced that like an SAO, the final triggering should really be tied to a high-intelligence agent that can readily determine if conditions for termination are actually correct." Wow, the gig economy is about to get a whole lot darker. Folks, there's a lot to unpack here. Luckey himself says that his Nervegear is just a piece of office art and a thought-provoking reminder of unexplored avenues in game design. Ah, the roads not traveled. So often game developers lie awake at night and wonder how a person with the gamertag ClownBoner420 could turn people's heads into a fine red mist without ever leaving their bedrooms. Now, unlike the very real and very cool Sky Hotel we talked about a few months back, nobody actually wants this except for maybe Palmer Luckey. He originally tweeted about the concept of dying in video games back in 2021, and we were all going through it, let's be real. And Luckey, along with being the former VR czar of Facebook, is also a defense contractor. Just like the shop in Lawnmower Man. See? These weren't just weird bits about a weird VR movie from 1992, they were educational. Anyway, not to backseat design too much here, but if you're looking for a VR device that can fully immerse you in a world while also damaging your brain, just go buy a Virtual Boy. Producer Adam used to have one and he still can't see the color red. It's really fun driving with him. But tell us, what do you think? Would you dare to wear this VR bomb helmet? Hopefully the answer's no. And why did we reference Lawnmower Man and not Virtuosity? That's a really good question. Let us know in the comments below, and for the latest and greatest in the world of extra extreme gaming, stay tuned to Nerdist.com.